Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Bridget, and I've already pulled cards for a message for you today. So, the first card that came out for you is this first light, beginning a new cycle. And you see in this card how we have both winter and springtime sort of depicted in the imagery. We have the snow on this pine tree, and then we have the flowers, the eggs symbolizing fertility. Sorry, I don't know why this is not focusing. There we go. So I feel that you're moving into a new season of your life. I feel like that's what Spirit wants to talk about today, is that there is a new season kind of being born in your life. I feel that this new season is going to be very different from what you're coming out of, just like the difference between winter and spring. For example, like in a climate where there are 4 distinct seasons, the shift from winter to spring is actually one of the most profound, right? It moves from a time where there might be less growth, less abundance, less of that kind of flowering, blossoming kind of energy. And then springtime is like so fertile. There's so much growing. There's so many new scents in the air. It's very fresh. So I'm seeing this new cycle for you, it's like a new season of your life, and it's going to be very fertile, very abundant season for you. That's what I'm seeing. The biggest sort of change within this season is the fertility, the abundance that will be available to you. And the sense of blossoming, like you're going to be blossoming in your own life. However, I feel that you're in a transition right now. Just like when winter transitions to spring, it doesn't happen overnight. It's not like the first day of spring, all of a sudden, everything's changed, right? It transitions slowly. And there's sort of like an overlap between these two energies as they change and move from one to the other. And that's exactly where I feel you are energetically right now. You're in a transition between winter and spring, sort of symbolically in your own life. You're moving out of a time of winter where something or many things may not have been growing. There may have been more of a focus inwards, like with winter when it's really cold, we focus more inwards in our life. And I'm just seeing there's a huge shift where you're going to have a lot of things start to grow, a lot of fertility start to just naturally kind of happen, just like when you walk around when spring has sort of taken over and you notice there's all these new flowers around and the smell in the air is so different. That's what I'm seeing for you, but you're in this really quite a significant transition period in your life right now. And Spirit kind of wants to acknowledge exactly where you are, because I feel there could be some fears, some sort of nervous system anxiety. Like I'm feeling a nervous system energy where there's anxiety in the system and it's being projected onto the present and onto the future, where I feel that there may be like a projection of the past onto the future, okay? And Spirit wants to help you by saying that this new season will be very, very different, okay? The fertility that I'm seeing is different because it's very specifically talking about something that was not able to grow for you in the past will be able to grow for you in this new season, okay? A lot of things will therefore be different, because even if you tried to make something happen in the past, I'm just seeing the conditions weren't quite right. You're in a different season of your life, and now that's changing. So this card came out as well, Rejuvenating Rain, clear the past and heal the present. And really what I feel Spirit saying is that there's no need to sort of project the past onto the future or onto the present, because things are actually changing. This change is happening now. Begin now. Take your first step. So I feel like you're already taking your first step. You're kind of just being intuitively guided. I feel that these energies that you're a part of, it's like bigger than you, okay? These seasons that we go through, we don't have much conscious or like ego control over them. Sometimes we're just in a season of winter in our life where there might not be that much growth and things might not grow. And then we enter into a springtime season of our life and all of a sudden there's abundance again. And that's what I'm seeing, is that I'm seeing you're moving from winter to spring, which is a very positive message for you. But Spirit's saying it's happening now, okay? With take your first step as well. This card speaks about, like in the deck, it talks about actually having to say goodbye to things that no longer resonate with you or that no longer serve you at some level. There's a lot of message here around you may be outgrowing things rapidly, or you may have already had to sort of say goodbye to people, places, or things, or workplaces. There's something about the growth has already been happening. With Begin Now, it's already been underway for a while. But there's a message here of like, the more that you can honor this shift in season and kind of, like when the seasons shift and you like put away your winter clothes, again, this is just for if you're in a climate where there are 4 seasons. I know not everyone is, but if you're in a climate, right, where you're moving from winter to springtime, there gets a point at some point where you have to put away your winter clothes and you're like, oh, I don't need these anymore. So you kind of like store them away somewhere and you get out a different closet. Okay. And that's kind of what I'm feeling is like there's this natural outgrowing energy where there are certain things in your life where you may have to put them away, store them away, stash them away because they're not really of use to you anymore. And it could also be like things that you use to keep yourself warm during the winter, right? Symbolically, like things like maybe, I don't know, ways that you use to cope with the winter. It's like you might not really need that anymore. Okay, that this is a really positive sign of like I feel like you're shedding weight and you're shedding layers. I feel your whole energy is getting lighter. And there may be some painful goodbyes, okay, during this shift because you are in a very intense transition. But for some of you, I'm seeing you've already been doing this during the winter. There's been a cutting back or a letting go process, maybe even a grief process for some of you, where people, places, things, or parts of your identity, parts of your coping habits, something like this, have just naturally fallen away and you've had to let it go. So Spirit's really acknowledging that this is very positive. We also got this surrender card, surrendering to the journey, release control. I feel like you've already been doing this, like, because again, I feel these cycles, what I'm trying to articulate when I say the season of your life is changing. These seasons that I'm talking about, I feel we don't really have that much control over. It's sort of like part of our destiny, part of a larger energetic cycle that we are a part of. So I feel like Spirit's sort of reminding you of where you are right now. You're in a transition between seasons, okay? You're in a transition between seasons from the winter to the spring. And sometimes that may be a bit confusing because you might be like, well, I'm in the winter or am I in the spring? I'm not really in either one right now. And so you're in this sort of liminal space, this space in between two things, two phases, two seasons. But Spirit's saying just surrender because this is part of the journey. See how she's on a boat? It's like, I feel that's sort of your energy. Like you're in between two places. You're in between two lands, right? You're on a boat in between them and you're traveling. You're on a journey. You're traveling in between two things. And I feel that there might be a part of you that's you might be trying to find solid land and be like, well, am I in the winter or am I in the spring? I need to be just in one. And I feel like you're kind of in none and you're in both at the same time. And you're in the in-between those things. And Spirit's sort of saying to surrender because we also got the relax card. I love this card. It feels like Spirit's giving you permission to kind of just like let go and to trust and to relax in this period that you're in, this transitional period that you're in. It says lie back, rest and relax, watching clouds. So Spirit's sort of saying the more you can acknowledge like where you are in this transition between two seasons, the more you can sort of enjoy this phase. And then I also pulled a card for your actual springtime, like when the springtime really lands and you look around yourself and you're like, okay, I'm definitely in the spring, right? You're in a different kind of phase and it's really obvious. So for that, I got valiant courage, take action with passion, okay? So I see that, like I said, this springtime of your life is going to be very abundant, okay? There's going to be a fertility available to you, like where things suddenly grow in ways that they just were not growing in your life before. Especially, I feel could be really good for your abundance and your finances, okay? Because I'm seeing like a barrenness with the winter energy, right? When there's snow covered the grounds, it's like nothing can grow in the same way as when the sunshine is like shining upon those grounds again, and it's, everything's sort of growing in the springtime. For some of you, you might also be coming out of hibernation. I just saw that. You're coming out of hibernation, and that sense of being in a cave and like kind of nesting and like going inwards, it served you a lot, but I feel you're slowly like ready to actually come out of that now. And in this new phase, I see you taking action with passion, like a lot of action being taken, a lot of courage in ways that it's like a newfound courage. And I feel you really gained this from the winter of your life. Like there was something really deeply gained during that winter of your life. And I feel as well as I'm tuning in, there were things that were let go of during this winter. It was marked by some kind of loss, grief, or a conscious letting go process where you're like, yes, this thing doesn't serve me anymore. I don't resonate with this anymore. Or this person, I have to leave them. Something like this happened where you were in a winter period where it was more about letting go. And now in this springtime that you're moving into, it's more about creation. It's more about actually creating things. You're moving into a time where there's a lot of creative, like life force available to you, and you're going to be taking a lot of action. With the courage energy here, it's also taking action in ways that you may have previously felt blocked off from, or you may have previously just not really felt was available to you for whatever reason. So I'm seeing this new expansion in this springtime where so much more is actually available to you, and it feels really good. And I see you moving forwards, like you're going to be moving forwards with a lot of passion, with a lot of vitality, with a lot of confidence, with a lot of certainty in this springtime. And there's going to be a sense of growth where it's just undeniable. Things in your life are growing. Conditions in your life are changing, and you're really exiting out of that winter time where there may have been a depletion, a lower energy, lower light, right? The winter is like darker, and you're moving into a time where the sun is really returning. All right, that is your reading, everyone. I do hope it helped you. So if you would like to check out more of my work, I did just release a light language tape called Clear the Way. I feel for this reading, it could really serve you as you're in this transitional period, and serve to really heal from that energy from the past that may still be plaguing your nervous system, and kind of being projected onto the present and the future. Spirit's really assuring you that the future will be very different to what you have experienced in the past. And I will also let you know that I also released another one called Earth Angel. I love this one, you guys. When I was channeling it, it was really, really special one. And it's really, really profound for the heart space. So if you would like to go deeper into a heart space expansion, I would recommend checking out the Earth Angel tape. When I was channeling it, it was a really profound one. And yeah, it really needs to be experienced, I feel, if you resonate. All right, that's all for now. Take care. Much love.